Ladies and gentlemen, sorry about that. I got kicked out of my own live stream. What's new, right? So, I do have some info I want to share with y'all. I found out I got demonetized because they said the video I did on Skip Bayless leaving FS1 was hate content. They said that was hateful content. That's what they said, that I said about Skip Bayless. So, over one video, my whole channel got demonetized over Skip Bayless, no less, y'all. Skip Bayless. So, any of you that can make donations until I can get this all sorted out, I would deeply appreciate it. Deeply, deeply appreciate it. Thank you. So, anyway, I did appeal, so I'm still waiting to hear back from them. But yeah, it was over the video I did on Skip Bayless. According to them, that was hate speech. I don't know what part of it was hate speech, but this is what they're saying. But somebody putting a manifesto out here before they do a mass shooting, that's not hate speech. But what I said about Skip Bayless, that's hate speech. Oh boy. You gotta laugh at these silly ass people for real. Oh, I'll put my Cash App there. Hold on one second. All right. So this is my Cash App for those that want to send Cash App. And here's my I'll put my PayPal here because I realize everybody ain't big on Cash App. And this is my PayPal. So there you go. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. And I know all of you, many of you have been with me for a long time, and you've been very supportive over the years. And I deeply appreciate that. Thank you so much. It has not gone unnoticed. Yeah, I heard Curly Girl, the sheriff, um, in the Sonia Massie case retired. He should never have been allowed to retire. But see, in this system is so unfair and so unjust. This is what they do. As long as these folks are in charge, don't expect to see any justice. Not for us. For anyone else, but not for us. And let's be real, if that was a melanated sheriff, they would have fired him. They wouldn't have cared what stage he was in his career as a sheriff. They would have let him go and wouldn't have gave it a second thought. But this guy was allowed to retire. Give me a break. It was his idea to hire Sean Grayson. It was his idea to do that. He knew what kind of background that cop had. He knew he got fired for falsifying police reports, you know, and he hired him anyway. As far as I'm concerned, he's equally as responsible for what happened to Sonia Massey, I'm sorry. He's equally as responsible because if he would have used some good common sense and not hired this guy, she would still be alive today. But no, he should never have retired. He should have been fired, period. Should have been fired. Shelly Wright, thank you for the Cash App. Mildred Levy, thank you so much for the Cash App. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if y'all saw that plane crash in Brazil. Man, that thing was bad. I guess I heard about it, but I did not see that plane crash until today. Man, that was awful. I just looking all that fire, it just burst into flames. I said, nobody's alive on that sucker. Everybody on that plane had to die because that thing looked horrible. I have subscribers in Brazil. I have some that are in Brazil. Hmm. Now, True Royal is going to be joining us, so I guess she's just a little behind, but hopefully she'll be here soon. Yeah, there's video of it. In fact, there is a video of it that shows the whole thing, the thing falling out of the sky and hitting the ground and bursting into flames. And man, that thing looks terrible. Oh, yeah, the UK riots, Wania. Yeah, the UK riots are horrible. And the thing is, I said, boy, if YouTube was going to get me, you would think they would have got me on that one. What I said in that video was far more harsh than what I said about Skip Bayless. But I guess they didn't think so. I guess they thought me putting down some 72-year-old relic that has no athletic background whatsoever was horrifying, I guess, to them. Uh-huh. You know Tim Walz? You see all that white hair he got? You know he's only 1 year older than Kamala? I thought this man was, like, really up there in age because he certainly looks like it, but Kamala is 59. Tim Walz is 60. He's only 1 year older than her, although he looks 20 years older than her. He's just 1 year older than her, that's it. You know, I thought he was older too, but they said he was 60. He's 60 years old. Mhm. Well, yeah, the British riots are horrible, and the thing is, I saw a couple of people saying, "Why aren't the royal family saying anything?" Because usually that's what Queen Elizabeth would do. If there was something going on, Queen Elizabeth would come out and give a statement. She would always do that. Especially if something made big news over there, she would always come public and make a statement. Well, Charles, he don't do that. You can tell he ain't interested in doing that. I doubt if he really cares that much, to be honest with you. And I mean, look, that riot is based on race. So what is he really going to say? Because if he comes out and oppose the riot based on race, it's going to raise eyebrows about Meghan Markle. Look at how that family treated Meghan Markle when she was there. They treated her like crap. So, what can they really come out and say? They really can't say anything without being dragged. What can they really say? And I think they hide their racism through the media. That's what I think they do over there. They let the media over in the UK spit all kinds of negativity at Meghan, and that's how that British royal family hide behind how they feel about her through the media. Because they were the ones, because Harry said it in that documentary that was on Netflix. He said, all of the negative press was being leaked from within. So he knew somebody in the family was leaking all that stuff. And I believe it was Kate Middleton. I believe it was Kate Middleton and William doing the vast majority of the dropping. I think it was them. It could have been Camilla too, because they said Camilla is good friends with Pierce. And we know how racist Pierce is. But I really think the bulk of it was Kate Middleton and William that were doing all the leaking. But after something like that happening, how can they come out and make any statement? They can't. They can't. I believe it's Camilla too, but I really think the majority of it was William and Kate, because they were saying when Meghan was introduced to the public, she and Harry were rising in popularity. They became more popular than the Queen, Kate and William, and even at the time, Prince Charles. People were focusing on them more than any other royal family member. And I think that's where it all began. They did not like her, taking up the spotlight from them. Yeah, yeah, I had heard about Pierce trying to hook up with Meghan. But why would Megan wanna hook up with him? Look at the age difference. I don't think she's interested in no man Pierce's age. There's clearly an age difference there. And I just don't think she wanted to settle with some guy as old as Pierce. And I don't blame her. She wanted somebody more her age, and that's Harry. Mhm. Well, I mean, I don't blame any woman that wouldn't wanna date Pierce. Pierce got a shitty ass attitude, and on top of that, he's a racist. I don't blame anybody for not wanting to date him, and I don't already got a whiff of his wife. Boy, what a cow she is. I don't know if y'all saw Pierce's wife. Yuck, yuck. Cynthia Brooks, thank you so much for the Cash App. Thank you. Deeply appreciate it. Mhm. Yeah, and the thing is, it's very obvious. Pierce has been this way for years. If you look at his career, the one he likes dragging the most are black women. He has a long history of being in the media dragging black women. That's his all-time favorite thing. That's why he's not going to pass up a chance to drag Meghan, because if you go back and just look at who he drags, he has this strong history of dragging black women more than anyone else. Mhm. Well, I don't blame her. First of all, Pierce is not attractive. His personality is not attractive. And you can, like I said, and you can see there's an age gap there. And I don't blame her for not really wanting to be with Pierce. I think then Megan was in her 30s. I think she was in her, I believe she was close or in her late 30s. She didn't want Pierce. I don't blame her. What's to like? There's nothing about him that's even likable at all. But the funny part is the same night, because they said the same night Meghan went out with Pierce, she met Prince Harry. What happened was she was on, I think, a dinner date with Pierce. And when she left a dinner date, she ran into someone and they said, "Well, would you like to go to a party?" It wasn't Pierce, it was another person. And she was like, "Sure." And they went to this party and Harry was at the party. So that same night that she went on a date with Pierce, she met Harry and she never looked back at Pierce again. Mhm. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna put y'all on mute. I'm gonna see if I can reach out to Kim. Just give me a second. Okay, she's on her way, y'all. Wow. You know, one thing about this pick for Kamala, y'all know he's deeply opposed to reparations, but I don't think anybody should be shocked about that because one thing you should know for sure, it don't matter if it's a Democrat or Republican. That's one thing they are unified on is us not getting reparations. You can best believe that, you know. And I did see an article yesterday that said Black candidates are afraid to say they are going to do something for the Black community. They're all afraid to do that because they feel if they do that, white people will not vote for them. I think that's ridiculous. But that's what this article was saying, you know? So I guess if you run for office, never say you're going to do anything for Black people. Never say that. That's pretty much what the article was saying. Never say you're going to do a thing for us and you can get into office. You got that right, dark skinned brother. He sure is. All right. You know what's funny? That new intro I have with the elder Black man and the lion. Somebody wrote me and said, "Why do I have Spaniard music on it?" First of all, a Black man is playing that music. That's a Black musician. And number two, I don't know. All music comes from us. So even what is labeled as Latin music, that's our music. They didn't come up with that. They got that from us. True, Royal, isn't that true? Latin
Um,
music is our, what they call Spanish music or Latin music. That's our music.
all of that's our music.
Yeah.
I play Spanish music on my channel. I be singing Mexican songs. I don't know what I'm saying, but I be singing.
Well, I got a new intro that I did. The picture is of an elder Black man and a lion.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody had wrote me and said, "Why are you playing that Spanish music in your intro?" And that's not Spanish music. And if you go where I got that, I got it from a website called
Mm-hmm.
upbeat.io. And you can get a membership there and download all the music you want. It's all royalty free. And that's a Black artist that's playing that, what some people say sounds Spanish. That's a Black man playing that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's not no Latino. It's a Black man playing that music.
Mm-hmm. That's like country western. That's ours too.
Right. And you used to play Natalie Cole singing in Spanish on your channel back in the day. I remember,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
and
Yep. Yep.
she was doing whole Spanish CDs.
And she had in fact that whole particular album that she did at the Latin Grammys, she was nominated. She didn't win, but she was nominated. That's how
Mhm.
good. That's how good that that particular album did. All the songs were excellent. Um,
Mhm.
and then like last night, I
I
had
just
my
wish I just wish she didn't die so young. That's such
Lord.
a
That was the ironic thing is that woman passed on my daughter's birthday, and I named my daughter
You
after
named
her.
your daughter after her. Yeah, I remember you saying that.
Hmm. But last night, I was introducing new music to my grandchildren, and I played Queen Latifah's jazz CD to them. They were shocked, and I was
Mhm.
like, "Yeah, Queen Latifah can sing jazz."
Queen
You know?
Latifah can sing, period. A lot of
Yes,
people think she rapped. She actually has a very good singing voice.
yes, she
It's
sure
just that
does.
her career, she's been rapping, but Queen Latifah is really a all-around musical artist.
Yeah, she's excellent. Yeah, she is excellent. So I'm glad you called me because I'm sitting there waiting and
I
didn't
hear
know.
you.
Yeah, didn't know you had. I didn't know what was going on over there, and people were leaving comments too.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Hopefully. They will
Some people figured it
figure
out.
out there. Yeah, somehow I hope they figure it out, you know?
Well, I have some things that I want to say
Yes.
that really irritated me. So I was over on Roland Martin's channel,
Mm-hmm.
and they were speaking about Kamala's Harris VP pick in glowing terms. And so when I started reading the comments, a number of our folks said that they was in tears
Mm-hmm.
because this guy she had picked, literally like they didn't fell in love with Massa. And I said, our folks ain't gonna never learn. Um, and like I told my grandchildren, I said all politicians lie. They said Kamala, I said she lying too.
Yep.
But um, um, I had learned through Lisa, this man, he don't want us to get our reparations either. And it's a hurting thing when it comes to us that's Hebrew Israelites, that we should know better by now, that it don't matter what party it is, they are one and the same. We need to stop looking for the enemy to be our savior. We know who our savior is, but some of us have been so affected by the system, to the point where I'm getting emails wanting me to encourage folks to vote for Kamala because they are worried to death if Trump get in office. I don't give a damn who get in office. Now, I will say this,
Uh,
because I don't like Trump and I don't like Kamala. I would like to see Trump lose, because it would just hurt his feelings so bad that he would lose to a black woman. But it just really got under my skin that our folks is out here crying over her BP pick. Another thing I discovered, y'all know often I have talked about Biden wouldn't allow for the black farmers to get that money, that was allocated for the black farmers. And out of nowhere, I think it's been like 2 weeks ago, they released the money. No explanations, no nothing. Now, when they allocated that money, they allowed the white farmers to tie it up in court.
right. I
All
remember.
this time, they doing all this stuff to get the black vote. See, we got to look deeper into this stuff. These
Now,
people,
just to know, over here, we don't consider Kamala black. I know there's a lot of our people sitting around saying, "Oh, she's a black woman." She's not.
no. And I live in Kamala country.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't know how often I have to keep repeating myself.
Kamala and Nancy Pelosi, you
Yeah,
live
Pelosi
there.
country too. I mean, like neighbors, like. And um, the first time I knew anything about this woman, she was sleeping openly, having an affair with the mayor, Willie Brown. I didn't know
Downtown.
she, I didn't know
Yeah.
she was an attorney or anything like that. I just know that she was on the payroll twice, and she had bought some extra knee pads, and she was just getting busy. Yeah, I'm a trasher. I don't trust none of them.
Mhm.
None of them. At the end of the day, but it's a damn shame that we got some of our folks out here crying because of her VP pick.
He's not a good pick. I mean, nobody she pick is going to be good for us. We know when it comes down to politics, neither side wants us to have reparations.
Mm-hmm.
It
But
doesn't matter
then
left or
look at the
right,
move.
all
Look
the
at
same way.
and see. I'm gonna go back to the black farmers. So they released this money. Most of them have lost their farms. The ones that do have their farms, that money ain't gonna even affect them one way or the other, because through the whole time Biden was in office, that money was held up. And in his dusty old dried up senile ass, now they want to release the money to get the black vote. Like I keep saying to y'all, they can't satisfy royalty. Keep that in your mind. We are not them. Nothing could satisfy us. they could hand me my reparations in cash, and I would be looking for more. That's my attitude. I want more. Nothing could satisfy us. What they continue to do to us, we got to stop um, being satisfied with an inkling. Ain't nothing they can do for us. Only Yahweh can satisfy us. They ain't not, they and then the fear factor. Why are people fearing Trump? Everything has been done to us under the sun. What more can they continue to do to us? I just don't understand it. And I'm just irritated. So I don't want y'all to think I'm chewing y'all up, because I know anybody that's usually on our channels, we pretty much kind of like think the same. But I'm just irritated that some of our folks would keep falling for the okey doke.
I
Damn.
know. Royal, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. No, I just want to say, our people are running around here scared of Project 2025.
Yes.
And I pray that somewhere along the line you stop being scared, because we've already lived it. And of course I got the, oh no, I'm supposed to be hysterical on here screaming about 2025. If that's what you're looking for, you need to go elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there are a lot of creators out here that's doing that. I'm just not one of them.
Yeah, I don't know if you got any, but I'm getting these emails from Hebrew brothers and sisters that are afraid. They are afraid. And they want me to go out here and tell them, well, Trump and him is pushing Project 2025, and Trump gonna do this and Trump gonna do that. And you giving your power up. See, the key is not to mix our energy with any of them. That's why I keep saying, like I got a lot that I gotta just release myself. It's like with Miss Massie being slaughtered, how that pig killed her. They had a town hall meeting, and I've said this on my channel over and over again. They're gonna have a town hall meeting at a black church, and they orchestrate this stuff. They know even if we don't go to the church, we will respect the church. Then then what they do is they set up these perimeters, and all we do is bitch in the church about how we feel, and then they come up and say they gonna do this and they gonna do that, ain't gonna do nothing. And even the chief of police said he's not gonna step down.
Oh,
And
they're making him retire.
oh yeah, yeah, so they can they'll let them make choices so they can make sure that they get their full retirement. See, it's always about keeping stuff cut intact. I seen what Michi X did. She tore their ass up in there. I had to give it to her. But they had some coon up there setting up the perimeters, and you're not accomplishing anything. That it would be more impacting if our folks don't show up to this stuff. Don't show up. That would leave a lasting impression on their mind. But stop showing up to this stuff, because you sitting up here venting and purging, and that's it. That's as far as it's gonna go. Okay, so
Right.
Kamala and Biden talk to her family members. Oh, we sorry this happened and all that. They ain't gonna do nothing. That's to get the damn
No,
vote.
but see, that's what I was talking about before. See, when we get killed, they only want to come in the press because they want to be noticed, and they give a statement. And not once have you heard out of their mouth, we're going to put legislation down and make sure these shootings end. Nope. They just want to come and give a statement, or just like up in Rochester, New York, where the grocery store shooting took place. They want to come, give a statement, and bow their head and pray. I ain't praying with no devil. Okay, that number one, let's establish that. I ain't praying with no devil. And number two, they're never going to do anything. You're the goddamn president. You're the vice president. and y'all standing around acting like you can't do nothing to stop this.
Yeah,
You're
like they don't have a
lawmakers.
clue.
You're lawmakers, and there's no excuse for you not to act on doing something to shut all of these shootings down. You know, it's a disgrace when someone calls for help, and instead of helping the person, the cops come out and kill you. That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
And now we
But it
find it
just
we
goes to prove that Black people are the only group of people that cannot call the cops for help. That's what
no.
Sonia Massie has proven. We're the only ones that can't call for help.
And did y'all hear that mess that they put out, that 911 um audio of her having an episode? What was that proving?
Yeah, her, you know, come to find out, her mother also called to try
I
to get
remember,
her.
I know that. And she asked them not to send one of them racist ass cops over to her daughter's house. So okay, you put that out. And then they lied to the family and said it was a self-inflicted wound. They got all kind of crazy messages. They even thought that one of the neighbors had shot her. They was already setting up a narrative for that pig, even though they
It was
could
not
just.
on the body cam foot, you know, on the body cam of the partner, he probably would have gotten away with that self-inflicted story.
Mm-hmm,
You
mm-hmm,
know, just think about it. If not one cop filmed that whole thing, he probably wouldn't be sitting in jail today.
mm-hmm.
But
Uh-huh.
see, Donald Trump said he wants to give complete immunity to police. So if Donald Trump was in office, he wouldn't even want that cop to be sitting in jail.
Yeah, and that ignorant fool. I've been doing a lot of research on him, and these so-called experts said that Trump has a vocabulary of a fourth grader, and um, they was just, just breaking. I just wanted to get a little bit more detail because I was listening to him real close, and I said, this dude, he uses the same damn words over and over. Now, when he think he's sounding intelligent, he uses the word tremendously. I've been noticing that for years. And then he'll say stuff like, "Oh, I'm winning by a lot." And then the other day when he was out there on social media, he gonna spell polls, Poles. I said, Lord have mercy.
Hmm.
Um, dude can't
Oh,
even spell. He can't even
yeah,
spell four-letter words.
he can't spell. And on top of that, you see how he's so intimidated by Kamala. I laugh because they did a press conference with him and they said, you know, you and Kamala had, you know, a rally in the same arena, and they put his rally and hers side by side, and you could clearly tell she had a full house and he didn't. Oh, he got mad.
Yeah,
Oh
and
my
yeah, he get mad
God.
instantly. See, that's another one. You can't satisfy him at all. That joker was sitting up here talking about um that he had record breaking crowds there, to more people than when Martin Luther King was there. And I said, who would sit up and listen to that mess? This is a damn fool, you know, because he in his feelings, because this is all about being competitive. Now, I took joy when he was the way he was talking to those black journalists, because I said, if these people would pick up on something that I'm picking up on, um all you got to do is keep badgering him the way they did. Nigga gonna come out of his mouth. He ain't gonna be able to hold it. He ain't gonna be able to hold it. It's gonna come out of his mouth because he was angry. And then there's something that I really.
Thank you for bringing that up because that's something I noticed. Because if you notice, after Biden won and he was talking to them black folks on Zoom, and you saw how nasty he was. I noticed that about these older kind of white
Mhm,
people.
mhm.
If you address them on something and you're melanated, ooh, they get mad.
Yeah, they
They
get
feel
instant.
should not be asking for nothing. They
And
really, truly feel that.
Trump was so angry, and I seen a level of evil. Now, some people would not think it's a big deal, but to me, it spoke volumes. Did you see when that black woman turned her head and he picked up her water bottle and tightened it real tight?
Yes.
I said, that is a level of evil I have never seen in my life. Now, some people say, "Oh, that ain't no big deal. It's just a bottle of water," but just to have that in his psyche. So he comes out talking about the black folks is late. Nah, they wasn't late. He was back there bickering with folks because he wanted to control the narrative. He didn't want people fact checking him because all he do was sit up and lie. Then he want to say the PA system didn't work right. That was a lie. And then he was shocked that he's seeing all them black folks out there that are professionals,
Mm-hmm.
and all they had to do was just let him keep running his mouth. He gonna let it out. I mean, it's on the tip of his
Yeah.
tongue and stuff. And then what get me is folks go, these retarded folks go out here and listen to these rallies. He ain't talking about nothing. Oh, she's stupid. She dumb. I'm
Yeah,
smart.
name calling. Yeah,
I'm
name calling.
smart.
And all he do is stand there. And I notice even when he's in front of his own people, he don't be talking about nothing.
Uh-uh.
He
Uh-uh.
literally he's not talking about policies. He's not talking about, okay, this is what I'm going to do by executive order when I get in office. It's just a bunch of rambling. That's all
Mm-hmm.
it is. It's just a bunch of rambling. It's not really anything significant.
No, it's not. And they were saying that he ain't even been going out campaigning like he normally do. He wore out.
He's worn out, and plus I think he's butt sore because all the reports are coming out that Kamala is leading him in the polls, and I think that is pissing him off.
Yeah. And he just can't control himself. Because I was looking at pictures of him. He didn't put on that orange paint he usually have on, and he looked drained the other
Yeah,
day.
got the orange paint on, and his hair seems to be a brighter blonde. That's why I said in one of my other live streams, I said he really do look like a damn Oompa Loompa.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. He sure, he sure, he sure does. But he was out there on that platform, and I'm telling you, it was on the tip of his tongue. I wouldn't have sat there and let that joker sit up and insult my folks
Backup,
out there like that.
backup trick 44, exactly. He just stands on the stage complaining. That's
Mm-hmm,
all he does during them rallies. If
mm-hmm.
you get a chance, just watch him for 5 minutes. It's just five. The whole time he's in front of his own people, it's just ranting and complaining and calling people names, calling people low IQ, calling them stupid. That's his rally.
Mm-hmm.
That's his rally. And I don't know who Trump's PR people are, but they're doing a horrible job with this man. Every time, and I was telling True Royal this earlier, I said every time he's in front of the camera, he's having a damn meltdown.
Mm-hmm.
This man is just so emotional. How do you overlook the fact that Trump is so overly emotional? I mean,
But
this man is just whining and having meltdowns over everything.
mhm. Like I said, they said he has the capacity of a fourth grader, and that's an insult to a fourth grader.
It is, but come on, act like a damn adult. You're a
He don't have.
78-year-old man. He whines more than a baby. This man
Mm-hmm.
is really, he's too emotional in front of the camera.
Mm-hmm.
They need to really work with him and break him from doing that because he just looks bad.
It's too late, Lisa. He's just too damn
Yeah,
old. He's an old fool. It's just too late.
I
I
mean,
mean, he done got
every time
past that.
he,
He ain't gonna
every
change. Trump ain't gonna change, and I like the way he is.
time
Um,
you the same person, he's having a meltdown.
and then the other thing is the other part that's making him melt down is the Republicans that's stepping away from him and endorsing Kamala. I said, look at this shit. I
Yeah.
said, this stuff is driving him crazy.
At the
Driving.
rally, literally taking the mic and just being a bully on stage. That's really all he's doing.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, yeah. Because when he came out there to the black journalists and spoke, he was also afraid that they was gonna ask him something that he couldn't answer. So he kept controlling the narrative by, like you said, by being a bully to throw people off. Because if you ask him something that he don't understand, he'll get in a fighting stance. because that's a fear. That's all that is fear. You looking at, he ain't nothing but a peon, and he's very fearful. When Kellyanne's ex-husband, I forget his name, um, he's part of that the Lincoln group.
He was on Midas Touch today doing an interview, and he
Yeah,
was
in fact,
talking
yeah,
about
he sure was. He never backed down off of him. He never backed down off of him. I said he must have went to school with somebody like that, because he couldn't intimidate him. And, oh yeah, and JD Vance behind the scenes, his folks is letting them know they don't like it. They don't like it, that pick at all. But see, Trump is so full of himself. He'll pick people on visual. You know.
well,
Um,
one of the reasons why I heard he picked him because Don Jr. and
mhm,
JD Vance have been friends for years.
mhm,
And I
mhm,
guess Don Jr. probably worked on him behind the scenes, telling him to pick him.
mhm,
But I did also hear that Trump is not happy with him. He's
mhm.
not satisfied with JD Vance.
Well, he's stuck with him now. That's what his ass get. He's stuck with him. It's too late.
Yeah,
I mean, we got
Conway, Kellyanne
90,
Conway's ex-husband, George Conway.
we got
Thank you.
90 something days into this election. He gonna have to live with it. See, out here playing. I mean, you got a convicted felon running for president. What, next month? And we know they're not gonna lock him up, but still, just the cycle, it tears him down psychologically. They gonna sentence his ass. That means technically he can't even vote for himself.
Well, they said he could get an additional 54 indictments.
Damn.
Yeah, he can get 54 more. Right now, he's down to 34.
Mm-hmm.
But the way the Constitution is written in this country, he could be sitting in a jail cell and still
Yes.
can run for president.
Ain't that something?
Mhm.
You see how this country didn't erode it? Let's see. Really,
Because
what?
criminals wrote the law. That's why.
Mhm.
Criminals wrote the law.
Yes, they did. But see, we look at the foundation of America, and the
Uh-huh.
foundation of America. See, when you don't put a good foundation together, eventually it's gonna crack.
Yeah,
And when things start to crack, once you get one in there, it cracks everywhere. And that's what we're looking at.
right.
We
Okay,
look
Kim, I'm going to let you have the floor. I'm going to mute myself so you can talk about Kamala's pick.
Camel's pig. Oh Lord.
Yeah, I'm going to mute myself. And you should have the ability to share on your,
Um,
can you share? You
let
should
me
be
see.
able to share on your screen.
Let me see what's going on here.
Do you see present?
Yeah, I do see present.
Okay, so you should be able to click on that and share whatever you want on the screen.
Okay.
And Heather Gooch, thank you so much for the Cash App. I see it and I appreciate you too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to mute myself. Are you going to be okay?
Yeah, I'm fine, Lisa.
Okay. I
So,
got your back.
okay. Give me just a second here. Okay, let's see. So, let me get this together. Oh, here it is. I got it.
Got it? Okay.
Yeah, no, what I wanted to show.
Okay.
Something I wanted to show in particular.
All right.
And I'm going to present it right now. Let's see. There we go. Can you see that, Lisa? Let's see. Okay, I got a screen share there. I'm making sure that y'all can see, I hope that y'all can see it. Okay, there it is. This is what bothers um this is one of many things that bother Trump's that little mega crowd that he got following around. They don't like the way that looks to them because he married somebody basically of color, and they don't even like his children's name on top of that. So these folks is hung up. They're not hung up on your what type of experience that you have or anything. They all hung up on visual. If it looked right, then I guess it's right. I mean, one thing that Trump did say that was true was that you could tell the Republicans uh, anything, and they'll just fall for it at the end of the day. So that affects their psyche right there because they don't like the way that look. Ain't that something? But I mean, but one thing that I found out about him, about JD Vance, is all the employment that he has ever had, somebody's always had to get the job for him. I guess, whatever's in his past, and more will come out, he's not marketable. And these folks is real big on nepotism, and I'm big on nepotism too as well. If I had the ability to hire my folks, I would do the same thing. I would do exactly what the enemy do. See, we got to stop showing that we can be fair, balanced, and objective at the end of the day. You can learn some things from the enemy. So that's all I got to say, Lisa. I know maybe she didn't stepped away about JD Vance because I mean it ain't much going on.
No, I didn't step away. I'm still
Okay.
here.
He didn't already stuck his foot in the mouth because he
Well,
didn't bruise he
he's
didn't
got a very
bruise he didn't
he's got a
bruise.
very yeah, he's got a very awkward personality. You
Mm-hmm.
can tell he's not fully at ease in being in front of a crowd, and then he tends to say some really silly things, you know, like, childless cat lady, and I was like, "Wow,"
Boy,
you know?
he pissed off a lot of women on that one. He sure did.
'Cause,
Um,
there were rumors of him having S with a couch.
yeah, I heard that. I mean, you know what
Gosh.
that make me think of? This is not unusual. One of my girlfriends, really good friend of mine, her nephew told me a story that knocked me down. So when he was in college, he was rooming with this white guy, and he was wondering why it was always holes in the wall in the dorm room. Well, one evening they had a party down, I guess, in their little common area. They had a little party, and this guy got pissy drunk, and he was face down on the couch. So when he was passed out, so when they pulled him over, he was having sex with a jar of peanut butter that he had put in between the couch. So um,
Believe it.
yeah, and so he found out later the reason why it was holes in the wall. He would take the jar of peanut butter and stick it in the wall and have sex with it. He would just kind of put it in a microwave, soften it up, and just stick it in the wall. I was
That
like, Lord have mercy. Um, so maybe he's part of that group that you get busy with the a jar of peanut butter in the couch or whatever he do. I know. Look at the comments.
yeah, well, no, no,
I'm telling y'all the truth. um, boy, that brother when he told us that, me and my girlfriend we looked at a jar of peanut butter totally different. They be on some stuff. That is too much
much.
information for me. Yes, baby. You want to see what, baby? Okay, go ahead. Okay, baby. Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
goodness.
Now I got a house full of grandbabies here. Um, I'm just looking at the comments. That's tickling me. Oh my goodness. So that's all I gotta say about him. I mean, what else is gonna come out? That's all I mean, this is gonna be interesting. Well, we got 90 something days. Gonna be a lot going on.
Well, polls, that's why I don't get heavily into that. I've done stories on what the polls say because right now they're saying Kamala's up in the polls, and She's up by 8 points and all that stuff. But polls don't always tell the truth, because if you
Mhm.
go back to 2016 when Hillary was running, they said she was leading in the polls, and you see Trump defeated her.
You know what?
So you
I ain't
take it with
never,
a grain of salt.
I ain't never met nobody in my life that have taken a poll. Isn't that something? And how quick that stuff come out? Where they getting these numbers from?
They sure ain't talking to us, that's for sure.
No, they not. No, not at all. But that stuff is disturbing Trump. Oh, another thing, I'm gonna take him down. Did you see how all them they said Trump was on social media yesterday? I think he left like 100 messages on social media. He was having him a complete meltdown. But remember, folks, Mercury's in retrograde,
They
and
said he was at 3 in the morning on his social media, Truth Social, and
uh-huh.
they said he was up at 3 in the morning ranting about Kamala. I said,
Lord
yeah,
have mercy.
sleep. I said, the dear little demon can't sleep. That's what it is. And he's so damn evil, he can't sleep.
Oh, that's what he get. Oh, that's what he get. Oh my goodness. He in his feelings. Because that they were saying that the Republican Party wasn't prepared for this at all. They was just ready to crucify Biden, and then this came. It gave the Democratic Party life.
Right. But see, I know some of them were saying on Capitol Hill that they want Biden to leave now before January. I said, but you know what? That would be a big mistake, because if Biden part ways, then Kamala's the sitting president then.
She sure is. But Lisa,
And
you think?
if she's got that advantage, I really do think she would defeat Trump.
Do you think that Biden could even make it the next 6 months? Because when I
He,
seen him out there the other day,
he
he's
got a
act
lot
like
of, he got a lot of help, True Royal. He ain't in there struggling every day. He got staff and everybody around him
no, I
helping him.
know that part, but I'm just talking about when he makes these public appearances, his faculties is not together. When you said that stuff would impact him quickly, it's like you put a curse on the dude. I mean, it's hitting him left and right.
Yeah, but he's not going to be out there on the campaign trail. And I don't think he is. I think he is endorsing Kamala, and
Mm-hmm.
you might see him for time to time, but he's not out there campaigning real hard for
Mm-hmm.
her, because I don't think he can. I don't think he's up for that.
No, yeah, the last time I seen him out there, he didn't have it all together. I'm just out there just walking. I mean, it was like he didn't even know what direction to go. And I'm saying, damn, that hit him hard. Um,
Yeah.
and I take
Well,
joy in
that's
it because
the
I
one. He ain't the only one, True Royal. That's why they're hiding Mitch McConnell. You know his butt is still freezing all up in there. Yeah, they're hiding Mitch McConnell.
yeah, you ain't seen him at all. So they're gonna be doing them like Feinstein. They would wheel her butt in and she'd be slumped over all day.
And she would never know what was going on. You
Mm-mm.
notice that? She never
Mm-hmm.
went on.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Nah. But this stuff is affecting his sleep, and he can't say anything intelligent. And do you really think he gonna come out and have a debate with Kamala?
No,
Uh-uh.
no, he's not.
Nah. Both of them talking about they ready to. Uh, JD Vance also said he ready to come out and debate her. And they
Well,
can't.
he wouldn't debate Kamala. He would be debating Tim Walz.
No, no, I know he would. I know he would. And see, if Trump agreed to it, all he gonna do is throw insults, because that's all
That's
he
all.
got left in him. That's all he got left. And then what gets me about this dude is he wants somebody to respect him, like him,
Yeah, he
like
wants 100% loyalty.
you're talking about. They like me a lot. I'm like, boy, can you improve your vocabulary? Oh, I'm winning by a lot. That's the best you can do. Somebody said, but all that education, what was he doing in school?
His
Everybody
sister,
else was doing the work for him.
his sister was doing his homework for him.
Hmm
and it
Mm-hmm.
shows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you said, he would get up every morning and wing it, Lisa. And I
Yeah,
was,
but did you see? You saw what his nephew said about him. Did you see what
yes,
Fred
I did.
Trump heard?
Mm-hmm.
He's saying the same thing Mary Trump has been. Well, this is Mary's brother.
Mm-hmm.
He's pretty much saying the same thing that Mary Trump has been saying all this time about Donald Trump.
Yeah, he's awful. He is. He is. He, like I said, he is a true definition of a nigger. He represents. He's the ultimate one. He is the ultimate one. Um, and and then everything that he tries to embody, he is what that is. He's the ultimate whiner. Um, and I mean, it's just like you might as well slap a diaper on him and put a big pacifier in his mouth. You can't satisfy this dude. And then what gets me is our folks fearing this stuff. What are you fearing?
Well, after he was allegedly shot and his ear don't have not one mark on it, um, people were acting like he was some kind of savior.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you see, Trump survived. That proves God is with Trump.
Mm-hmm.
God is with Trump. I'm like, what?
Well, I heard them say this one.
He's a saint.
I actually heard this come out of this guy's mouth. He had his own YouTube channel. When he got shot and he threw his hand up, he said, "Oh, he's a badass. Look at him. Oh yeah, he's hard." I'm like, "Oh Lord."
Mhm, Not a
Mm-mm-mm.
mark on his ear, y'all. Not
Yeah,
a mark on his ear.
no, that wasn't nothing but some glass that hit him. And one day he didn't even have a bandage on the right ear. But then and then he needs the black vote, and then the insults that he continues to throw up in our faces. Well, now I understand a black man's plight. I'm a convicted
No, he don't.
felon.
No, he don't. Because if he really understood the black man's plight, he would not be advocating for police to have more immunity.
Mm-hmm.
But he is advocating for that. So, he's kind of talking out of both sides of his mouth.
Mm-hmm. Like he
On
usually
one,
do.
yeah, on one instance, you care and you can relate. And then on the other instance, you want to ramp up the fact that they need more immunity. Like they don't
Mhm.
have enough now. They already got too much.
Yes, they do. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Donald
Yeah.
Trump is good.
And
But
then
yeah, something
he
when his own family came out against him.
mm,
Fred Trump said he endorses Kamala. I said, damn,
mm. Yeah,
you
that was awful.
know that bothered him.
I took joy in watching Biden erode on the world stage because I was so sick of him, how he talked crazy to them black folks and was screaming at them. Yeah, it was very nasty. In that short amount of time, look how he didn't decline.
Hmm.
They kept asking him over and over about how you gonna help this situation with the farmers. He act like he didn't have a clue what to do.
Hmm.
Not a clue. They know exactly what to do.
Yeah,
They
first of
not
all,
gonna change. They not
no,
gonna do nothing different.
first of all, he didn't even have enough respect for those black farmers to even listen to them. If you remember when he first went into office and started choosing his cabinet, those black farmers immediately came out and told him, "Don't put Vilsack in there because that's why they were having so many problems." What did
Mm-hmm.
he do? He put Vilsack right back in there. He
Sure
didn't have
did.
no respect for us.
Mm-mm.
He
Yeah.
doesn't. He doesn't have no respect.
And then you're gonna release the money now when you're gonna release the money where the person is flat broke, then lost they farm. And can you imagine all the loans they done took out? That money gonna go right back out.
Yeah.
Right back out.
Hmm.
But see, they'll put the headlines out there. Some of our folks will get satisfied. That's why you got to read the details. You can't go listen to somebody's video. You got to really get into the ingredients of this stuff. You really do. You really
Yeah.
do. If you're interested in something, don't go by what somebody say. Uh-uh. No,
Exactly.
no. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Not at all. So
Hmm. It's true.
yeah, and then So the VP pick for Kamala. So I guess he covers all groups, because he did something for the what do you call them? Um, Lisa, I gotta take this call. Let me it's very important. I'm gonna go on mute.
Okay.
Okay.
But he was the sitting governor when George Floyd was killed. So this Tim Walz, he was the governor back then. And this is the one that was talking to Donald Trump about the National Guard, because I think people have forgotten how Donald Trump was upset with all of the protests going on, and he wanted the protests to end. And he was threatening to get the military out on the streets and the National Guard. And thank goodness the generals flat out refuse to put the military on American citizens. And they ignored Donald Trump. They said they were not going to put the military out there on the streets, because that's what Donald Trump wanted. They really pretty much overruled Donald Trump. And it was the same thing with the governor, because Donald Trump spoke to Tim Walz and talked to him about doing some intervention to get all these people off the street, and told him the same thing, to get the military out there and stuff. And see, I haven't had a loss of memory about how Donald Trump wanted to use the US military on protesters. And the big chunk of those protesters were melanated. Ladies and gentlemen, that's no different than what they did during chattel slavery. The military in this country was used to return slaves back to plantations. Okay. So Donald Trump wanted to do the same thing, not return back to the plantation, but to sick the military on all the melanated people out on the streets. I'm not going to forget that about what Donald Trump wanted. But isn't it amazing, when his people went up to that Capitol, all of a sudden he didn't want no intervention, no military, no National Guard. You see how those folks tore that place up and left their excrement and their urine all over the place, and nobody was screaming for a National Guard. Nobody was screaming. Remember, the police didn't even intervene. That's why it got so far out of hand. But I guess when the face of the crowd changed, the attitude changes. But no, I have never forgotten what Donald Trump tried to pull. And that was that time when he went out in front of the church holding up the Bible upside down, and for a photo op. I remember that, you know, and it doesn't matter who's in office. At the end of the day, all of them, even Joe Biden and Donald Trump, one thing about them, they both agree when it comes down to policing in this country. Biden said he wanted more police on the street. We don't need no more police on the street. The ones that you already got on the streets are lousy enough. So, and then when Donald Trump talking about he wants the police to get complete immunity, no, I'm not comfortable with that dude being back in office, especially with that type of thing on his mind. Give the police more immunity. And I'm glad the question came up when he was around those Black journalists. That came up. They said, they spoke about Sonia Massie, and you would let that cop out. Oh, he tried to avoid answering that question when he was around those Black journalists, and that came up. It came up that you said you wanted to give more immunity to the police. So that dude, more than likely, under Donald Trump, he wouldn't be in jail now. And that's what you have to keep in mind. I know everybody in our community that's voting for Donald Trump is acting like he's some kind of savior. Donald Trump is not a savior. Donald Trump can't save himself. If Donald Trump was such a big savior, he should have saved himself from getting all them indictments in. If you can't save yourself, you can't save others. Let's be real. Let's be real. You know, Wow. So I can't trust him or Kamala. I cannot trust either one. I mean, I know people are going to go out there like always on election day and vote for one or the other, but to me, you can't tell me lesser of two evils. I don't want to vote for evil at all. I don't want to vote for evil at all. Hmm. Yeah. So I mean, we're not that far from election day. We're inching closer and closer, and we'll see what the outcome is. And there's no guarantee that Donald Trump is going to win, just like there's no guarantee that Kamala is going to win. It can go either way at this point. Yeah, I mean, look, America has showed us these presidents, and I mean, are there any that was good? I know a lot of people will say Lyndon Johnson, he signed the Civil Rights Act. Lyndon Johnson was one of those presidents when the whole time he was in office, the man was using the N word all over the place. Okay. And they really didn't want to sign that act, but at that particular time, it was a lot of upheaval going on in the country. And a lot of it was coming from our community. And they just wanted all of that to calm down. Trust me, if that man could get away with not signing anything, he would have. He would have. His hands were kind of tied. Oh, yeah, Cori Bush and how she lost. Yeah, I saw that. I saw it. I absolutely did. I just didn't do a video on it, but I did see it. And Apex said they were going to go after the black um, Democrats when they ran, and they did, and they took out two. And so we'll see who else will fall. They got a boatload of money. They got enough money to do it. That's for sure. There's no doubt about that. Oh, yeah. All you got to do is vacuum your couch and get it all nice and fluffy, get the pillows that match your couch all nice and fluffy, and just
Whoops.
sit there and watch the political results. That's
I'm
all
I'm
you gotta
excuse me for that. I'm back.
do.
Um Nadia went on home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I told you what she calls her cousin now because she can't say Sabbath. She calls her salmon.
Mhm.
I've been having fun, but I'm having fun with this too. So where you at, Lisa?
Oh, we're just talking about a lot of stuff. We're
Now, no,
talking about
I did hear you in passing say that you don't you can't you don't trust none of them, and they're all one and the same. And I know some of our folks, um, we got family and friends that believe in these folks, and they are fear. That's the one that gets me. They fear Trump, and the whole thing is who can outfox the voters. And Trump, he don't give a damn how it looked because he figured I'm a shoe in. Now he's vastly concerned. That's his issue. He's vastly concerned. Um, and now he wants to play like, well, I don't know, I don't want to, I can't debate because I don't quite know what's going on. Biden might just step back in. This whatever. You can't. That woman to run circles around your dizzy behind. At the end of the day.
Mhm. Yeah, well, that's why he wants it at Fox News.
Mm-hmm.
He wants an advantage. He wants to control the narrative, and I think Donald Trump want to have it at Fox News because he wants to tell them what questions to ask and what questions to avoid. I really think that's all it is.
Yeah, yeah, because he
So
got
he can be fully prepared, and That's what he wants. He wants an advantage over Kamala.
He always wants an advantage,
Mhm.
And the thing that gets me about the people that that follows him, they can't see no wrong in this person. This person could he could piss on them, and they would love it. I ain't never seen people like that. Um, like he basically called. They got to pay attention to things that he have said, and they have put up in his face, and he don't know how to handle it. When he first ran for office, what did he call the veterans or anybody that got in the military? He just basically said they was stupid.
Yeah, and
You
he
know?
was bone spurs every time he every
Yeah,
time he came up for the draft. He had some bone
yeah. He had
spurs.
something. He had something wrong with him. So, but he fantasized being a dictator. He don't even have the heart to be a dictator. He don't know who he messing with when
But did
he.
you hear what it said, True Royal? That this would be the last time people would have to vote.
Mhm.
Once he's in office, nobody would be no need for anybody to vote again. I was like,
Well,
what the?
they have questioned. Some people have questioned him about it, and the answers that he give don't even make sense. But see, when I really listened to him, what he so called, what he claimed he meant was he gonna fix everything, and and then you don't ever have to vote again. We know exactly what you meant. You think because I've been saying this. I said that Trump is trying to find a way to never leave office. Because remember Lisa, when it was time um for Biden to step in, and I was hoping that Trump would act a fool and not leave office. I wanted him to act up so bad.
Yeah,
I
we
said
wanted to see him get dragged out.
I was
Him get thrown out head first with that fake blonde hair falling off his head and all. We wanted to see the whole
I
thing.
wanted to see him kicking and screaming. And then I was hearing the other day that his little inner circle basically thought they had a shoe in. They was already jockeying for positions,
Mm-hmm.
like, to be a part of his cabinet, and now they sitting there clueless.
Mm-hmm.
And so, oh, you just gonna campaign on insults. And there's some folks that'll fall for that. But then let's talk about the other narrative, the ones that's stepping away from him in droves. When he have these campaign rallies, um, it don't be that many people there, and then he claimed, well, they didn't let him in. Well, let's look at the crowd outside then. If it's so many damn people out there, that happened when he was still in office, and he would have these so-called big events. And if you do a panoramic view, it wasn't hardly nobody in there. People,
Mm-hmm.
after a while, people get tired of your foolishness.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, when they raise the price of food, his followers got to pay the same thing we got to pay. They don't have one set of food for his supporters and one
Right.
set.
But you
Everybody
got
gonna
a
pay the
lot
same
of our
damn thing.
people. Yeah, but you got a lot of our people saying, well, Trump won't do something about all this inflation. Not really. Trump really can't do much about the inflation because the value of the dollar has gone down.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as the value is down, it's not worth what it used to be worth when Donald Trump was in office the first time.
And see, what they
Because
need to,
he can't come down but so much on the inflation. He really can't.
and what they need to do, since they think that he's such a amazing businessman, is really go check out his history, how all his businesses have failed. This is what blows my mind. How do a casino bankrupt as much as people like to gamble in America?
Yeah, that happened in my state. And I remember Donald Trump chained the doors closed, y'all, and didn't tell the employees that he was no longer going to be operating the casinos. Trump's employees showed up and the doors were chained, and that's how they found out they were out of a job. He
Mm-hmm.
didn't even have the decency to give them some notice so that they could look for other jobs or prepare themselves. That's how he did it. So do
And
you
then he
really
didn't pay him.
somebody did you do you really think a person that did something like that to employees, some of those employees worked for him for 10, 15 years, and that's what he did to
Just shut the door in their face. You being
them?
loyal to the company, and that's what you got. I watched a documentary on that, and that's when his father was still alive, and his father was telling him to slow his roll. He didn't want to listen to nothing he had to say. He ran through that money. His dad kept bailing him out, bailing him out. Then when his father died, he didn't all the money dried up. Then he run to the banks. He ain't gonna pay the banks back. Trump don't own his name. He can't get a loan in this country. And another thing about him, so when he was dealing with that situation in New York, okay, he had to put up a bond. I forget the amount of the bond. Couldn't find no company that would front him that money. So they go tuck their tail, go back before, because they couldn't meet the deadline, go back before the judge, and the judge said, okay, I'll cut it in half. Oh, no problem, I got it, I can pay that. That check bounced all over New York.
That's why when Trump used to get in front of crowds and say, I am a billionaire. And I told True Royal, Trump ain't never been no billionaire. He ain't no billionaire. In fact, when he was on the Forbes, the list, they said he lied about his money in order to make that list. And he falsified that, and he never had the money he claimed. So when he gets in front of you talking about, I'm a billionaire. No, Trump is not a billionaire. Trump is barely a millionaire. Barely. Okay. Barely a millionaire.
What's that term they use? You property rich and cash poor. But he couldn't even come up with half. And then his lawyers had the nerve to come back before the judge with an attitude. I said, y'all not really in a good position. You need to stay humble. But one of Trump's friends had got on him real heavily and said, Trump, some of the lies that you tell, it's no need to lie. He lies so that people that's close to him is backing away from him because he's not making sense. And it makes me think about a statement that my father said to me. He said, buffoonery has a short duration, and he is a true buffoon. And how much longer you want to hang around a buffoon? You see the people that wanted to be in the in crowd with him, their ass got locked up. Did Trump help them? No, not at all. Not one bit. He wants you to be loyal, but he ain't gonna be loyal to you. Trump will whore out his daughter to get in office. He don't love his kids like that. What you was telling me the other day, he don't even have nothing to do with that youngest girl. And that's the one that at least got an education.
Yeah, she became a lawyer.
Yeah, but see, she ain't no benefit to him. And
at least not right now. See, when they start turning on him, he'll embrace her then, because that's what happened when he lost. He really wasn't paying that much attention to her when he was still in office. When he lost, she did come around to try to comfort him, and he accepted it. And I can see that happening again if he lose the election. Trump is not a shoo-in. Let's just get that right. Trump is not.
He got to put in the work,
and rate of him just being critical at the mic, I don't think that's going to be good enough.
Yeah, I'm like, how long you gonna sit there and just throw insults? And so now he got JD Vance out there campaigning, and they don't like him.
He should never have picked him. And you know why, True Royal? He's only been a senator for 4 years. Prior to that, he has no political experience. He don't have the experience. He should never have.
No, he don't. like somebody made a comment. They said, I thought Sarah Palin was bad. And I'm thinking, damn, they got somebody. You know what I have learned? I have learned with the Caucasoid race, just when I think I have seen um, a complete fool, I see somebody that can top that. They got some really messed up people um, in their race when it comes
Mhm.
to their foolishness. So he gonna have to put in the work, and he got 90 something days, and them days is ticking, ticking, ticking. That's
Yeah.
gonna be grueling. That's gonna be grueling. I mean, you're gonna be going from state to state, campaigning real hard. You ain't gonna even know where you at. That schedule is grueling, and Trump is showing signs of
Yeah, he
decline.
is. He
He
is. He
is.
definitely is, and it's being pointed out too.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, as soon as Kamala stepped in, he actually became the Joe Biden of the race
He
at
sure
that moment.
did. There,
He
you
doesn't
know
realize
what?
it.
You know what? You're absolutely right. He took his place because he could shine. He could shine in front of Joe Biden. Now it's like, oh shit, what I'm gonna do? And see, the
Mhm.
thing is, the other issue with Trump is he got advisors. He don't listen to them because he said he's smart. You know, anytime somebody fix their mouth to say they smart, they're not smart.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Yeah.
what's the part? So that see the advisors technically their job is to tell him how wonderful he is. That's it. That's it. And just check it out. I read another article because I remember Amarosa had talked about this, where they said when he was in office and they would sit down every morning with them briefings. Now you get a briefing, you get a foreign and domestic briefing, and I can imagine that's pretty thick. And they said he would sit there for a little bit and then he would get irritated and walk off. And they said his cabinet wasn't no better. Well, I said, okay, well, he's the lead. He didn't want to read that stuff. He couldn't read it. And then Amarosa said they started putting all the information on one sheet of paper. Now, think about what I'm saying. You're getting a briefing every day, foreign and domestic, what's going on in this country and abroad. And then you put the shit on one piece of paper. So, how he gonna learn how he's learning foreign policy? He's watching TV all day,
Yeah.
all through the White House. His TV's on.
Yeah. Well, you remember that platinum plan he claimed he had for the black community?
Yes.
That was only written on like one sheet of paper. I said, how can that be a plan? And you got it written on just even if it was 5 pages, that ain't what kind of plan is that?
Yeah, that's an insult.
And I said he had no intentions of doing none of that stuff, and he's not going to do it now. You know,
Well,
uh, you're talking about the platinum plan. Trump ain't brought that mess up not once on the campaign trail.
no.
Not once. He has
Mm-mm.
not presented not one single plan in regards to what he wants to do for the black community. All he do is run around at the black vote. I'm going to get the black vote. That's all he really does. He doesn't
Mm-hmm.
do anything beyond that.
Mm-hmm. So basically, what's gonna happen is the same old, same old. The Democratic Party gonna use the hell out of black women, even more so than ever, because we got these black women um, from all these different sororities that's really gearing up to help Kamala. See how the backbone of the Democrat Party is black women. So they're gonna
Mhm.
use the hell out of them.
Yep.
Ain't nothing changed. And what is Kamala gonna do? She gonna keep doing what she's being told to do.
Right. Right.
Like I keep saying, when our folks get in those type of positions, they have demonstrated their loyalty to white folks, and they have demonstrated to white folks they have no problem cutting us at the throat. So I
Hmm.
don't trust none of them. Mm-mm,
Yeah. Well,
mm-mm.
my brothers and sisters in New Jersey, you better get ready. I got a notification from the power company. that's saying they are expecting power outages. You know, we got the remnants of Hurricane Debbie coming
Damn.
up the coast, and they're saying there are tornadoes in this remnant. So y'all get ready.
Folks need to get them a generator.
Get ready,
We,
family.
we we got one. We don't got that fancy one like you said your uncle have, but we got one because that one
Mm,
your uncle have, he don't even know his stuff go off. Something go
yeah.
off, and it's like being in a hospital. It just switch right over. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
real nice. It's quiet. Um, but the one we have, it make noise, but it can light up our whole house. We don't have power outages on that
Yeah.
level, but the weather has been quite strange. One minute is hot, then the next day it'll rain. You
Yeah.
don't know what you're gonna get.
So what y'all saying? Tariq Nasheed is caping for Trump? Is that what y'all saying?
He probably is. You know he a damn fool.
I don't know. I don't listen to him like that,
Me either.
but who knows?
No, no.
There's a lot of people caping for Donald Trump these days.
If Tariq ain't getting no money from you, he don't want to be bothered with you. You know,
Yeah,
like somebody
you
said
you
he'll do like okay, like this is what he'll do. Okay, he said he gonna put a documentary together, and I have to admit he put some real good documentaries out. But
Mhm.
okay, so then he'll do the crowdfunding, so our folks will donate, and then after he done put the documentary together, then you got to pay for it. So you done paid for it twice.
Oh, okay.
Just think about it. You technically paying for it twice. So
Mhm.
he in a win-win situation all the way around. So even if the documentary don't even do well, he didn't have to use his own money.
Yeah, but didn't Tommy Sotomayor, wasn't he supposed to do a documentary on single fathers? And then he collected, I think, like over $1 million, and he never did the documentary. You
Wow.
remember?
Oh, that
Do you
sound
remember?
like that sound like Umar Johnson in his school. When is that school gonna pop up? When it was over the girl, I fell out, Lisa. He went into that little raggedy abandoned school, and I said, "Is he serious?" I said, "Oh my goodness, somebody need to help this brother."
Hmm.
Mm-mm-mm. That's
But
all.
no, I'm not surprised. I mean, there's a lot of people that got these channels and they support Donald Trump, or they try to act like they don't support him and then be talking him up. I've seen that on several channels.
Yeah, like when they had the Republican convention, and they had what was that woman? What was that girl's name? Is it? I think her name Amber Rose that spoke. Is that her name? I think she's supposed to be a part of the hip hop community.
She's on no, she's on OnlyFans.
Okay, okay. Well, she came out and spoke, and she claimed that she told her father that Trump was racist, and he convinced her, oh no, he's not. Um, and that's the part that get me, where they're blatant with it, but they still want you to like them, and then they're also concerned about their legacy. That's why they're trying to shut down their true history. They don't want people to know their true history. But see, why they harping on that make people curious and say, well, what is in your history that is bothering you? So
Hmm.
their own is looking into it. I mean, they're not getting no rest nowhere. Because
No,
like you said, Lisa, the key thing that you said that I like, Lisa, is that you said it has its good points and its bad points, but having social media, having these cameras out is really has been our saving grace. Now people around the world is seeing what's really going on, because they made it like out like we was just delusional,
oh
and
yeah.
everybody's seeing it now. All we do is complain.
Right. They used to try to convince the world that all we do is whine. We
Mm-hmm,
whine. All the stuff we complaining about ain't even happening. We're just whining. But
mm-hmm,
see, that was the time when we didn't have the internet. Now that we have the internet, they can't do
mm-hmm.
that no more. And you notice they don't. They don't put the effort forth to turn people off and say all we do is whine, but the bottom line is, and by the way, thank you, Lisa Jackson, for the Cash App. Anyway, they still try to do it, and that's
Mhm.
why so lowly looking, scuffy looking immigrants will come over here talking about black people are lazy. So it's still
Mhm.
going on, but it has piped down a lot now that we got social media.
Yes, it have, and that people are seeing they mess around the world. Because I remember you had
Yeah.
mentioned that people from other countries had reached out to you and was shocked at their behavior and seeing how we really are being treated out here in America. Um,
Shootings. And
and
I'll get a few of them that'll say, "Well, that's the police." Yeah, but they're white police.
mhm,
Okay, they don't get excluded. They are white police.
mhm, that's
People
true.
are seeing how we're getting treated. And like I said, and I think this is prior to you showing up, what Sonia Massie proved to the entire planet is if you are from the black community, you cannot call the police because if you call them for help, they're gonna show up and kill you.
They sure will.
That called for help.
So, Lisa, as we're speaking on this, have you found out any other information about Sonia Massey? Because some of these things may be rumors that's running
The only,
around.
the
Um,
only recent thing I seen in the news is that a sheriff is retiring. They're
yeah.
pushing him out. But I
Mhm.
said to everybody, he should not be retiring. He should be fired. He hired this guy. He knew what his background was.
Mhm.
He knew he lost his previous job because he was falsifying police reports. He knew all of that and he hired him anyway. And him think about it, this sheriff making that decision cost a woman her life. When you saw he had a bad background, you should have just passed him up and found a better candidate. But he didn't do that. Kim, are you still there?
Yeah, I had stepped away for just a second. I'm back.
Oh, okay.
I had to close the door.
So that sheriff was equally as responsible for the death of Sonia Massie.
What got me was he asked for forgiveness.
Yes, he
I
did.
said,
In a black church.
Ooh.
He went in a black church, got in front of black folks, and said he wants forgiveness.
Mhm.
No,
And
no.
oh,
What
and
are you
then
doing to earn it? You ain't doing nothing. It ain't like you're saying, I want you to accept my apology, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. You're offering nothing
no,
except
you're not.
for you want people to feel so bad and sorry for you more than the victim and forgive you. No,
Mm-mm. You're right about
no.
that. Yeah,
Uh-uh.
I said, if our folks get, in that church, get the forgiving, I said I was gonna drop my head.
No, but
Um,
they didn't, and
you
I
know.
have told them they didn't do it.
So did you get to hear the town hall meeting?
No, I had read about it. Now I
Well,
don't know. I did not look for it online.
it was not easy to find, but I have it, and
Uh-huh.
they cut out Michi X's part, and she lit it up. Lord, did she light it up in there? Because
She might have it over on her she might have it over there on her channel.
it is on her channel. It
I have to go
is.
check it out
Um,
because I haven't seen I heard about it, but I haven't seen it.
yeah, because like I said, it was so scripted, and I got so angry because I said this is the stuff I've been talking about for years. When they had them down town hall meetings, they always run us up in the church, and um and basically they you like I said, even if we don't even attend church or even believe in the faith or whatever, we will show respect, and that's controlling. Then they're gonna say you only, you can only speak for so long and all this kind of stuff. And I said, okay, folks is just up here venting. And then what got me was on Facebook, because they have that sheriff department, that police department have their own Facebook. The
Right.
mayor
leaves a scripted apology, and she's trying to sound all apologetic, and you can play
Mhm.
the violins back there, but don't forget that um they was already setting up the lie that it was a self-inflicted wound, and all of that. They accepted that stuff. But see, when that
Right.
footage came out, they couldn't handle it. You know, they couldn't speak it. They couldn't speak it away. Because trust and believe, if that footage was not there, oh homeboy, be in a squad car right now. We
Yeah.
already
But
know it.
yeah, Davita Braxton, I did hear about Sonia had a 4-year-old cousin that was also killed by the police. I did hear
Yes,
about.
yes.
And in fact, Harvey, y'all remember Harvey Superboy, he said that Sonia Massie was his cousin. And I was
Mhm.
listening to him. He was over on Nicole's View, and I was listening to him over there.
Yeah. I said, damn, you talking about hitting close to home. Lord have mercy. Um, and you know, the family, it was somebody else in that family that got shot
His
up.
sister, his sister also was
Oh, his sister was
his
shot
sister
up
was
too.
murdered. Yeah, yeah,
Uh-huh.
she was murdered, I think
Boy,
a
that
few years
damn.
ago.
That family
Mhm.
been through it. But
Yeah.
even with all of that, ain't nothing gonna change. You know, I don't Biden, I don't even know why he called, because he ain't gonna do a damn thing. And Campbell called just to get the black vote. And
Right, and
people
I
ain't
wish our
doing.
people would stop accepting their calls. If they're not gonna do anything as lawmakers about all this stuff going on, I wouldn't even accept their call. I wouldn't get on the
Mhm.
phone with them. If you're not gonna do anything, what the hell do I need you calling me for?
Correct. You're
I
absolutely right about that.
wouldn't be me
Yeah.
on the phone with him. I would have hung up on his ass. I don't
Yeah,
care if
you
he's the president.
Lisa, remember when that some guy that was in the military, he had got killed when Trump was in office, and
Mhm.
Trump called his wife, and I don't think he knew the guy's name or couldn't pronounce his name right. Trump just messed up the whole thing.
Yeah,
He
and then he denied it when it was brought public.
and I mean
I remember that.
this guy was so terrible in office. They said when he would go overseas, by day 3, it would just be he would just fall all apart. He couldn't
Yeah.
handle nothing. Remember, he went over to
Well,
France.
yeah, I remember when he was over in France. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
and
was
then
for the World War I veteran.
Memorial. Hmm.
Yeah.
And then he left because he said it was raining. And then when he went over to Vietnam, and he was supposed to be working on something real serious, he abruptly leave because he worried about his problems over here in America. He
Oh, yeah,
pissed
that's when
them
all that
Asians.
stuff was coming out with Michael Cohen. I remember that.
Yeah, he pissed them Asians off. He was up there lying, and he just got up and just walked off like that. And I'm like, you're the
Mhm.
president. You got to take care of business. You know, you didn't
Doesn't care.
you campaign, now you done got the job and you can't handle it.
Mhm.
Then with his vindictive ass, he in there stealing personal documents and destroying it, or doing whatever he doing with it. I said he can't even read that shit. So why he even got it? He evil like that. Tell you, this
Mhm.
dude is something else.
Yeah.
Um, it just be I just like I said, I ain't gonna lie. I would take joy in watching um because how he gonna take it is a black woman beat me, and he gonna be hell. His family think he a nut now, and he already this the thought of what he going through, he melting down. I don't know if he can even hold up to the next 90 days, because he all over the place. He literally all over the place, and he ain't getting no more reprieves or anything. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
So we shall see at the
Yeah, we will. It'll be an interesting election season, you know.
yeah, it really is gonna be real tight, and it's gonna be lie after lie, and the thing is, they gonna have to tuck their tail and humble themselves to ask for the black vote.
Mhm.
Mm-mm-mm. So,
Yeah, but unfortunately, we still got way too many sellouts in the community that will
mm-hmm.
just run out there and once again you're giving a vote to somebody that's going to do absolutely nothing for you.
Yeah.
They're not going to do a thing.
Yeah. So the message that I give is, if some folks that are demonstrating fear, um, you just gonna have to develop a better relationship with Yahweh and trust in that and redirect your energy. Um, and remember, like I said, like when I often talk about Mercury in retrograde, which it is now, and I mean it's going full effect. The enemy wants you to fear what they cannot control.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to think about that. Why would they want our energy? Why do they want our vote? They say we are a minority. So it's like if we are 11 to 13% of the population, um, we would really be existing according to whenever they put them numbers out. So I wouldn't even be trying to seek the unquote black vote. I would go for the
So why,
majority.
why isn't Kamala, since Kamala is an East Indian, why is she not campaigning in front of them?
Yeah, now I've been wondering about that too. She got
You know,
herself in a
go ahead
cross.
and campaign to those Asians. You claim that's what you are. Just go
Uh-huh.
over there and campaign to them. What's the big deal?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But that's not what she wants. She wants that black vote. It's the same thing with Donald Trump. Donald Trump ain't campaigning to no Latinos and Asians and stuff. He's always hooping and hollering about the black vote. He's doing it too. Even went to a black church. Y'all remember Donald Trump recently went to a black church and everything.
I remember that.
Hmm.
I remember that distinctly. So um it's gonna be, boy, that's gonna be a lot of energy going on. And then so Mercury in retrograde ends.
Is it going to be in retrograde on November 5th?
Um yeah, it'll just be beginning in this it'll in the beginning stages. It'll just be yeah, in the beginning stages of retrograde where it ain't quite hit direct, but I didn't prove to you it don't matter if it hit direct. But I know it's affecting Trump because he can't communicate effectively because during that time it affects communication, and
Right.
he's not communicating well at all. And during that time, also expect outbursts, things that happen abruptly out of nowhere. That's why y'all seeing a bunch of freak car accidents on the freeway. We always have accidents, but trust and believe these accidents be off the hook. The other day up here in the Bay
Well, I
Area.
was telling them before you came on about that plane crash in Brazil.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that thing was bad.
yeah. That was bad. They had a small plane crash up here in the Bay Area and crashed in
Yeah.
somebody's side of the house, and them people lived.
Hmm.
But them damn planes only had one motor. Um, Out there playing around like that. So don't think that stuff don't be affecting folks. But nobody laughs at me anymore. when I
Hmm.
first talk when I first talking about that stuff, I know people said, "What the hell is she talking about?" And I said, "Go research it yourself." Now
Right.
all I get is emails saying, "Is it retrograde yet?" Because there's some funny stuff going on. Um, and Big Mike, being a professional driver, he said he sees so many accidents on the road, and he know exactly what he's looking at and stuff. But a question I wanted to ask you, they were talking about um, the the different um, endorsements that the Republican and the Democratic Party were getting, and one of them that they were mentioning was that have gave them a lot of money. Was it the firefighters? You have a question to ask, huh?
Do you saw this caption from yesterday?
No, I don't. Do you know, Lisa?
The firefighters, they probably did
They
endorse
pro-
Donald Trump. I know yesterday Kamala was with the United Auto Workers and they endorsed her. They did not endorse Donald Trump. They said Donald Trump's policy do not line up with what they believe, and they went with Kamala.
Wow. That's big.
That's huge. I mean, Donald Trump not getting the United Auto Workers, that is huge.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
you see what they did to Kyle Rittenhouse.
No, yeah. Oh, yeah. You told me. You told me about that. You tell him, Lisa.
Mm-hmm. Kyle Rittenhouse wanted to write in a different candidate from Donald Trump. He didn't want to vote for Donald Trump at all. And those MAGA folks jumped on his butt and said they would never support him or back him up again if he did not vote Trump. And then he miraculously switched and said he would vote for Trump. But they got in that butt. They got in his ass, y'all. They dragged Kyle Rittenhouse and they vowed not to ever support him ever again.
Well, that means that they using him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he think he a part of something, and they using his behind because they know he an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's really what it is at the end of the day.
Well, his mom and sister sure think he's one. He still won't help her, help them, and they're losing. I think they were in an apartment and they were about to be evicted, and he would not help at all.
No, they didn't. His mama didn't even have a car, and they were saying they was running out of food, and he don't talk to them no more, or anything. And I think she thought, like I said, she thought she was gonna get a windfall of money because she was fighting those attorneys because she was trying to get that money that people had donated to his defense fund. I said, do this fool realize that money was allocated for his defense fund?
Right.
Realize what you're saying. No, you ain't getting none of that money. Them attorneys took all that money eventually. And then I said,
Then he came out with that lame ass book. I think it was like last November or December. He came out with that old stupid book.
Yeah.
That went nowhere. I think he was like 6,000 and something on the
wow.
Nobody paying attention to that crap he put out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't believe he wrote that anyway. I think somebody wrote that for him. Kyle Rittenhouse don't sound like somebody that can sit down and write a book. Come on.
You should have seen how matter of fact he was speaking. So all of a sudden he don't like Trump.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness, they got their own inner wars. I love it. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. And stuff. Yeah, there's oh, I know what it was I wanted to mention to you. It's
remember that time that was that lame ass time, because I think you were the one that told me about this when the voting was going on back in, I think it was 2020, and Roland Martin went out to where black folks were voting, and he sat in his car crying like a little bitch that he is.
Yes, I was done. He got his head stuck out the window, and this Negro is crying. He out here crying. And I just shook my head. I said, he need to stop that. That don't look good. And how they jockeying over there for Kamala.
You knew he would.
They was looking long.
Hey, Roland, you can stop. You can stop trying to kiss Kamala's ass. You still ain't gonna be the press secretary. She ain't gonna have your fat ass up there as no press secretary. Your mainstream days are in the rear view mirror. You ain't getting no more of your fat turkey. He hears me because he talks shit about me, so I'm gonna talk shit about him. That's right, you fat turkey. You ain't never getting up in that White House as press secretary, and you ain't never getting back on mainstream news because you're a fat motherfucker and nobody likes you.
Ouch! Remember when we went over there, Lisa, and a group of us went over there. They started blocking us left and right. I said, "Oh, so they do know who we are."
Oh, it's like Roland has talked shit about me, y'all. He has.
Mm-hmm.
He has. So I'm just talking shit back at him. You fat fuck.
Talking
at you. You hear me, fat so?
You know what he was mad? Let me tell y'all. what he was mad about was when he couldn't get back on international TV. There ain't nobody gonna hide his behind.
They said
So,
Roland is horrible to deal with. In
mm-hmm,
fact, there was something going on a couple of years back, and they said if Roland Martin is involved, CNN was not going to support Black people if Roland Martin was involved. They can't stand him.
mm-hmm,
They
mm-hmm.
can't stand him. And he worked for them at one point in time. Then he left them when he got fired because they fired his ass. He went to News One and they said he was impossible to work with. So he's one of those people, when he gets a mainstream job, it goes to his head and he starts showing his ass. And then it gets to the point where they just let him go. But he, like True Royal said, he ain't getting no more mainstream jobs. They don't want him. It's very clear. See, he hates the fact that he's on social media with the rest of us that didn't have any mainstream news experience, and he's stuck at this level now. He can't move beyond that. He's pretty much stuck. And he hates that he is stuck with, people like us, just your typical everyday people. He's pissed off that he is stuck around us and he cannot rise above it. Mm-hmm. Oh, some people really, some people really drag him. Oh man, some people really drag him. Well, you vote for Kamala, Dugga. You vote for Kamala, she gonna keep the southern border wide open, just like Joe Biden did. She gonna do the same thing. That southern border is gonna be wide open if she gets back in there. You can best believe it. She's just gonna continue his policy on immigration. That's all Kamala's gonna do. So you really think about it, you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. You got Trump saying he wants complete immunity for the police, and then you got Kamala that's going to keep the border wide open. So no matter how you look at it, either candidate is going to get in office and do things that we don't like. It doesn't matter which one. Mm-mm-mm. I don't know if True Royal has dropped, or I can't hear her anymore. So I don't know if she's still there or not, or she's having some technical problems. Hmm. I mean, look, Kamala can go from being downtown Willie Brown's side piece to being president. But when you look over in the UK, Camilla was the side chick, and now she's the queen. I guess the rise of the side chicks must be going on. I don't know. Mhm. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't put nothing past Kamala. I'm just not trusting her. I know some of our people are, but not me. I don't trust Kamala at all. Mhm. Wow. Yeah, a lot of times some of these women that are leaders, they can be more dangerous. And trust me, they're just as big a killer as the men that are president. These women are too. They are, always have been that way. Hmm. No, and you shouldn't. Kamala hasn't given us any reason to trust her. Like I said, what reason is she given us to trust her? Just her word? Well, we know her word ain't worth a crap. Russell Richardson, thank you so much for the Cash App. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I think she'll do okay in some states, but I can see other states where she won't be doing so well. And it's because of the kind of population in those states. She won't do so well. So at this point, it can go either way. It could. Not that it matters. I mean, our lives aren't going to change. Hmm. Timbo, you kind of late to the party. I've already made that announcement. You must be just showing up. Yeah, you came late to the party. Okay. So y'all, I don't know what happened to True Royal, but I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your support, and we'll definitely come back and do this again. Um real soon. Actually, there is a topic that I want to do on live tomorrow, and I'll see if I can get that set up soon. Shalom, family.